The story begins in the escalator of a hotel where an old woman is lying in a wedding dress with a red diary in her hand. In her last moments, she remembers her wedding day when she came to this hotel with her husband. On the other hand, when a boy named Carlos returned home, he saw that his younger brother Oliver was very nervous. Carlos told him that their mother had left a lot of money for them, so now they would not have to do any illegal work. Then suddenly another. When Detective Marco came out of the room, Carlos got very scared and said that we were not doing anything wrong, but Marco had already threatened Oliver and made him reveal the truth and asked him to show the arrest warrant, but Marco did not have the warrant. Then Carlos showed his. To protect himself, he attacked Marco and ran away down the stairs, taking Oliver with him. Then Marco also ran after him, and by mistake, a bullet was fired from his hand, which went straight to Carlos's leg. Marco did not understand anything, and on the other hand, Oliver Carlos. He went to Marcos and started pleading for help, when suddenly he heard a loud bang from a distance. Oliver tied his hoodie there to stop the bleeding from Carlos's wound. Then he angrily attacked Marcos to take revenge on him. Attacked, but Marcos was too big and he pushed him back. Oliver said that they should take Carlos to the hospital as soon as possible. After this, Oliver supported Carlos with his shoulder, and the three of them started descending the stairs as they reached the door. But when he reached there, he saw that the door was locked. Hence, he started going down the stairs again. But after descending the stairs for a long time, he realized that he kept reaching the same floor again and again. When he looked down, he saw that there was no end to the stairs. When Marcos was not seen, he asked the two brothers to wait there, and he himself started descending the stairs, looking at the floor number. But again and again, he reached the same floor where Carlos and Oliver were present. Marcos got confused, and once again he started descending the stairs, but this time also, he reached the same floor again. Now, to know the truth, he threw his key in the stairs, but suddenly it fell near him from above, and then he realized that maybe he was trapped in the loop of these stairs. Oliver is trapped. He wanted to help his brother, but there was no signal on his phone. He thought of removing the bullet from Carlos's leg, but Carlos said that it would increase the risk of infection. Well, then Marcos used a fire extinguisher, broke the machine, and took out water and gave it to Oliver so that he could wash Carlos's wound. Now it had been 4 hours since they were trapped there. Marcos took out his purse and looked at the picture of his family and then gave medicine to Carlos to reduce his pain. Later, when Carlos became unconscious, Marcos and Oliver took out the food from the machine and sat together to eat. Marcos told him that today was his 15th wedding anniversary, but Oliver was still very angry and threatened that if my brother is dead or alive, I will not leave you too. After this, Oliver checked his bag but did not find anything useful in it. Then the next morning, Carlos's eyes opened. He was counting his last breaths. While dying, he told Oliver to live his life well. Told to live after this, he died in Oliver's arms, and Oliver started crying bitterly. On the other hand, when Marcos saw the machine, he came to know that the machine had filled automatically. Marcos was stunned to see this, but then suddenly he saw that Oliver is standing there angrily pointing a gun at him. Marcos explains to him that he fired the gun by mistake. He really didn't want to kill his brother, and anyway, they should think of getting out of this trouble together. And we see the house where brother and sister named Daniel and Camila lived with their mother Sandra and stepfather Roberto. Today they were going out for a walk. Soon they sat in the car and left for their destination. Then on the way when we stopped at a gas station, Roberto gave Camila some juice to drink, even though he knew that Camila was allergic. Well then, Camila had to go to the bathroom, so he gave Robert her inhaler to hold. Soon, Sandra found out that Robert had given Camila some juice. When she gave it to him, he scolded Robert a lot. Well, then they sat in the car and left, but soon Camila started having an asthma attack. Sandra and Robert came out of the car to see her, but then suddenly the inhaler fell from Robert's pocket and fell on his leg. Now Camila's condition was worsening, so they all decided to go back home and get a new inhaler. But as soon as they went some distance, they heard a bang from a distance. After this, when they reached the gas station while walking, there was no one there. Then Sandra picked up allergy medicine from the shop there and gave it to Camila. After this, she moved towards the house and Robert again saw a board on the road. Here, Sandra was still very angry at Robert. Soon an argument started between the two, and Daniel was trying to calm down his sister. After walking for some time, they found another gas station, but Roberto felt that it was exactly like the previous gas station. That's why they kept moving ahead. After a few minutes, they saw the same board again. Then Robert stopped the car and said that he was going around the same road again and again. But Sandra told him to keep going because Camilla's body was starting to turn blue. Now they were passing by the same board and gas station again and again. Soon Camilla became unconscious, so Roberto stopped the car and decided to find a new route by going to the fields on foot. Camilla's condition had become very bad, so Sandra was alone. When she set out in the car with the children, when she passed the same route again and again, she felt that she was dreaming and she started trying to wake up by slapping herself. Suddenly, she stopped the car and Daniel walked on foot with Camilla. He left and then Sandra went ahead alone in the car. Then she went to the gas station and started crying secretly because she was not able to understand anything. On the other hand, Daniel got tired and made Camilla lie down on the road and soon she passed away. Then Roberto came back and said that every path is the same all around. On the other hand, 35 years had passed since Oliver and Marcos lived on those stairs. Marcos had become very old and now he could not even walk, but Oliver did daily exercises. He had kept himself agile. The machine there and the contents of the bag were filled automatically every day. That is why Oliver had made separate piles of everything. Similarly, he had made a shower from his water bottle and came out of his bag. He used to cut his beard with a nail cutter, while Marcos's place was very dirty. Perhaps both of them had lost their mental balance because Oliver used to worship Carlos's skeleton every day, and they used to count the days by making marks on both the walls. Marcos times. Bar used to remember the beautiful moments of his life and put them on the walls and used to repeat his name again and again before sleeping so that he does not forget it. On the other hand, we see that 35 years had passed on that road too, and they all used to take food from the gas station because there the food was refilled every day. Roberto had become very old, and now he would lie in the car like a pig. Sandra had gone completely crazy and had stopped speaking. Daniel had grown up and lived with a mouse in the field. He had built a hut by picking up stuff from a gas station, inside which he kept the items of daily need. When the stuff was reborn every day, he would find his sister's broken inhaler, which he would pick up and use. Well, Daniel spent his time listening to songs and roaming in the fields. One day, Roberto found Camilla's doll on the road and left it in Daniel's hut. After this, when Daniel went to meet Roberto, Roberto gave it to Sandra. Now Robert realized that he wanted to tell Daniel some important thing, but he did not remember that thing. On the other hand, Marcos suddenly started screaming at 3 o'clock in the night. Oliver immediately came to him, and Marcos said that he remembered what he wanted to say. Then Marcos said that his real name is Daniel, and every life he has lived till now was all fake when he shot Carlos. Due to this, all three of them got stuck in a loop. On the other side, Sandra died in the car on the road. So Roberto buried her along with Camilla, then Daniel started crying, remembering his sister. Then the same night, both Robert and Marcos got severe headache. It started and she started saying again and again that whatever is happening is not real. Roberto and Marcos both were stuck in this loop for 35 years because of one mistake. That is why they warned Daniel and Oliver not to make the same mistake. Advised that whenever a person dies because of someone, he gets stuck in such a loop. Then Roberto told Daniel that whenever he sees a police car, he will forget his name. Marcos said that when Oliver sees an elevator, he will forget his name. Then Robert reveals that his real name is Ruben, and when he was 10 years old, he got trapped in a river with his teacher and a friend. Suddenly, the teacher it fell, injuring Roberto's friend, and he died 3 days later. After this, both of them got stuck in the loop, and they spent 35 years wandering in the same river. Finally, when the teacher was about to die, he also gave similar advice to Roberto. After this, Roberto found the riverbank and made a new beginning with Sandra. Meanwhile, Marco told his story to Oliver, saying that in reality, he was Daniel. He was remembering everything. Before dying, Roberto had told him to the police. Roberto and Marco, before dying, gave Daniel and Oliver a red car, gave him a diary which was full of photographs and things written by him. Ultimately, Daniel buried Roberto there and went towards the road where he saw a police car. He went back and burned his hut, and then as soon as he opened the car, he took everything forgotten. He came to the city in a car, and wearing the police uniform present in the car, he started living Marcos's life, and finally, when he accidentally killed Carlos, he got stuck in the loop again on the other hand after Marcos died. When Oliver saw the elevator, he tried hard to stop himself, but he felt as if he was going crazy. Finally, he entered the elevator and, wearing the uniform of a servant present there, started living the life of a man named Cal. Soon in the elevator, a married couple came, and as soon as they reached their room, Cal released a bee on them, which went and stung the groom. Then a bang came from a distance,